G'day Internet, 27th of May 2026, we have arrived. Yes, they call me George and I'm here to give you today's message of hope. Are you ready? His name is the Ninja. He is a mixed breed, part Jack Russell in him for certain, but the other half, well, I guess it's anyone's guess. He had the short legs of a sausage dog, the elongated body of a sausage dog too, and fur the colour of light gold. Very nice. He looks frankly like someone attempted a sausage dog and ran out of the right ingredients halfway through. That's my best description if I can give to you. Without fail, every person we pass in the park stops and asks what he is. The children would crouch down. Adults abandon their own dogs even, momentarily. He's 15 years old and he is still very strong as he likes to chase other animals away. Well, I volunteered to look after this dog about a year ago. Its owners, well, the child needed medical attention and the Ninja wasn't getting care that he needed. So someone had to step in. So they thought of me, and I said yes. I told myself, hey, this would be a complete breeze, because I like dogs. So that was close to a year ago. Now, I've never owned a dog, so that's my background. Not once in my life. I watched them from a distance and dreamt about, wouldn't it be nice to have a dog of my own? Which means everything I knew about dog ownership was theoretical. Now, I had seen the Instagram version, YouTube version, Facebook version, the golden retriever on the beach, yes, the Labrador by the fireplace even, and the loyal companion who seemed to cost nothing and give everything. I like that. But that's not the Ninja's version. Did I tell you Ninja is 15 years old? Yes. And when they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks, perhaps they had the Ninja specifically in their mind. And I want to tell you about one evening in particular. So I do work at an aged care centre. If you ever worked in an aged care centre, you know what kind of tiredness that produces after a hard day's of work. Because it's not just physical, right? It's the weight of other people's vulnerability that you carry home without quite meaning to. Now, I came home through the door one evening. Hey, my body was already spent. Definitely my stomach was empty because it was up, well, it was almost towards 8 o'clock. And I was thinking about nothing except dinner and a chair to sit down. But the Ninja had been busy while I was gone, you see. Now, I don't want to be overly descriptive what happened. Let's just say the cleanup was not optional. It was not brief and it had to happen before anything else could. Anything else in this case is hunger, exhaustion, and being on my knees. So that was the evening I stopped pretending I had fully counted the cost, what I had agreed to. Interesting enough, a Canadian breakdown I came across recently put lifetime dog ownership somewhere between 15,000 and 56,000 Canadian dollars. That's depending on the breed, of course, the health of the dog and the lifespan. So, let's come back. In Australian terms, that's roughly $16,000 to $62,000. And there is a word circulating in the press now for what has happened to pet expenses, specifically pet inflation. Just when you hear it all, right? Inflation, shrinkflation, now there's pet inflation. You see, veterinary care, more advanced and more expensive than any previous generation of dog owners are now facing them. Inflation hitting food and supply. Yep, I feel that. And urban ownership creating what one article called surface stacking. That is, once you got a dog, you're probably going to involve trainers, walkers, groomers, and a daycare. Can you believe there's daycare for pets? Yes. All of it is real and all of it is definitely visible. So, Here is what Jesus says about this. You find it in Luke chapter 14, verse 28. Let me tell you, for which of you desiring to build a tower does not first sit down and count the cost, whether he has enough to complete it? Now, some people can interpret it as Jesus says this in the context of discipleship, right? He's asking people who want to follow him to be honest about what that will actually require. Fair enough. The builder is not an illustration. It is an illustration, but that's not the point. Because he uses an ordinary image for a reason. Jesus knows exactly how human beings operate. After all, everyone was created under him. And we say yes to the idea. We fall in love with the vision, the tower completed, the dog on the couch perhaps, and the dream standing finished in front of us. Yet, we skip the part where we sit down first. That impulse, and I know it personally, the ninja needed someone. Someone was me. Yes, done. How hard can it be, I said. Now, if this is connecting with you, please be so kind. Subscribe to the channel. Give it a thumbs up. Share the video to your friends and family. Because every day on this channel, I put out something practical and grounded on scriptures. Now, back to the builder. Jesus says the man who starts without counting becomes a public embarrassment. Ooh, the foundation is laid, and yet the walls never rise. Anyone who walks past can see exactly what optimism without calculation produces. That would be embarrassment, right? Well, I was not embarrassed, but I was on my knees in my own kitchen, exhausted from the full shift in aged care, cleaning up before I could eat dinner, and the thought that arrived was not complicated. Wow, a bit slippery here. So it's not just the money, the specific texture of a shift on Tuesday evening when you have nothing left and the job still needs doing, right? Because it's not just one evening only. It becomes a pattern. The ninja needed his walk, regardless how your day went. He needs feeding on his schedule, not on yours. Well, in a sense, I do control it. But he needs bathing, company, and attention. Yeah, he needs a lot of care. Much like the elderly. Again, did I say he's 15 years old? And he does not consult your calendar before deciding what he needs. Yeah, that's the life of a dog. Well, there were moments across this year when I was bordering, resenting it. Just bordering, right? Not actually arriving there. Well, the resentment passed each time, but it came, which means I was repeatedly meeting a cost I had not prepared for. Now, not because the cost was unreasonable, no, but because I never sat down first and really figure out what's it going to involve. So the tower analogy is not a warning against building. Don't see it that way. Jesus does not tell the man to abandon the project. Yeah, he says count the cost honestly. Whether you have enough to finish what you are starting, the goal is not to make you afraid of commitment. It is to make you honest before you make one. He's trying to help you, Jesus. And that honesty is an act of respect. So, respect for the things you're committing to the people around you who live with your decisions, and for yourself, because you owe the truth before you agree, not after you're already on your knees. My friends, what have you said to someone that says yes to recently? And what are you circling right now with the excitement of the idea still louder than the honest arithmetic of what you will require? Have you done your sums yet? Because here is what the Tuesday evening actually costs. Not money, but you. The version of you that walks through the door after a long day and finds the commitment still waiting. Yeah, it's not going away because it's still needing and still entirely different to how you feel right now. So sit down first and count that. Okay, here's the part I don't want you to miss. You see, there is a good ending. After the cleanup that evening, after my shower and after dinner was finally done, I did sit down, and good old Ninja, he just tiptoed beside me, knowing that my dinner was right in my hands and hoping he can take a bite out of it. Yeah, I usually have my main meal, then my fruits. That's why he came back. Again, did I say he's 15 years old? Poor dog. Short legs that shouldn't work as well as they do. Hey, what about the elongated body? Did I mention that? Light golden fur. Sounds like I'm getting quite attached to this magnificent creature, aren't I? He settled in next to me like the previous hour had never happened. Yep, he didn't need to give me an explanation, apology, no apparent awareness that I had to spend 15 minutes on my knees on his behalf while I was hungry. Yeah, he just decided to park right next to me. So all of it dissolved. You know, the ugly feeling of resentment, exhaustion, the running tab of what this year has cost, yeah? Dissolve. That moment where I sat down is only available because I paid the cost of the moment before it. You do not get a second scene without it. And I find out I keep coming back to the verse. Because listen, Luke 14:28 is not really about dogs or towels or money. Jesus is asking the people standing in front of him whether they understand what following him will actually cost. He made that pretty clear because he did. He sat down, he counted it, and the cost was everything. And he went away. Anyway, Ninja is 15. Just keep remembering that. He will not be here forever, and that's a fact. But I am glad I said yes. I wish I said it yes with my eyes open, man. So, my friends, let me ask you, what are you about to say yes to? And what will it cost you today? All right, that's my message of hope today. Thank you for being with me. I've got another good episode coming up tomorrow, so don't forget to subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and share the video. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye-bye.